Good morning, everyone. It's Joker, and today we are back with another slime video. And dear baby Jesus, this meta is certainly something. So let's just go ahead and dive in. We're going to start looking at the global dev diary because it's in English. There is one slight difference to one of the units between the global and the JP side, and the JP side is always right. So I'll point that out. But here is the gallery image. We've got Hinata, Lumi, Rimuru, and Shuna here. Now, Hinata we just got for the commander meta, so I don't foresee her being part of the meta. Rimuru, it's been a month, so we need a new Rimuru. Lumi is on the app icon, so she's going to be heavily featured. And Shuna, haven't had a Shuna since Tempest Elite. Been a few months. Probably due for a new one. But just jumping in, we have Fire Lumi. So yet again, another Fire Lumi, an AoE Fire Lumi at that. And her first skill applies Resurrection State to Determination to Prosper and Commander characters for 3 turns. So Determination to Prosper is the new force, the flag icon that was added into the last data download. So we know what that is. That's quite a title for a force. But the Resurrection State at turn end recovers 100% of HP lost. So for 3 turns, whatever damage you take, you will heal back. And then if you die, you will revive with full HP for 3 turns. Maybe, yeah, for 3 turns. So, but you can only use the skill once per battle. So if she's limited to 2 different forces, but Commander literally just got buffed like 3 times in a row now. Between this Lumi, the entire Commander meta last month, Diablo, there are a lot of units on Commander now, so that's not bad. Determination to Prosper, not as... It's a brand new team. They added a whole bunch of units. We'll talk about that later. It's still a shit team. Guaranteed heal and a revive. That's new. We haven't had a revive character yet. Interesting. It is limited, though, and you can only use it once for fight. So you gotta really pick and choose when you want these 3 turns for you to be invincible, essentially. And then her second skill, 35 points, changes fire and earth character orbs into blues. So we are once again following up a blue meta with another blue meta, and then a 10% gauge increase. So gimmicky, yeah, the revive and the heal. It can be useful as long as you match the new category or commander. Her ult is an AoE fire magic ult, so blue magic now. She has an ult effect, 5% attack up for all allies, and then the EX ult does, extra double damage, right? So Lumi, we have limitation to units up here, and it's a 1-turn skill. Her second skill changes fire and earth. Objectively, the worst 2 elements in the game, because they just do not buff fire and earth very often. So there's not a big pool of units to choose from that you're going to put on here that are going to be able to, activate this convert. There are earth and fire units. Don't get me wrong. There are. It's just that not a lot of them are good. You have EX Guy. Awesome. You have... well, let's just pull it up, actually. Let's just do fire and earth. Fire, earth. Guy. Megumin and Mirai if you have them. New Jean. Evil Rimuru. New Shizu. Summer Lumi. Yeah. There's a lot of characters here, and most of these are old or free to play. So, yeah. You can take it that what you will. Moving on. We have a new character, Maribel, the creepy little girl. And she looks to be the most interesting unit of the better of the 2, sadly. But she is a protector. So she applies a new effect called Control to everybody, and for 1 turn, and it stacks, which means that you can apply this Control skill twice if you use her protection skill twice in 1 turn. When the enemy's turn ends, increases all allies' weakness strike until the end of battle by 15%, based on the number of control applied to enemies. So if you're in an AoE setting and you use Maribel's skill, you will apply control to 3 enemies, which means that each of those enemies will give you 15%, which means that every time you use Maribel in an AoE stage, you get 45% stacking weakness strike. And because up here, the control effect stacks on top of itself, you can actually up that to 90% weakness strike in one turn if you use Maribel twice and you're fighting 3 enemies. So, in its prime condition, in its best use case, you can get 90% weakness strike for, at the end of the turn. In the worst setup, you will get 30% if you apply it twice to like one enemy, or 15% if you apply it to one enemy and you only use Maribel once. So the low end is 15, the high end is 90. And there's a lot of things in between there. So weakness strike is universal, right? It's not limited by, crit debuffs or pierce debuffs or anything like that. So that's good. You just need to be type advantage or be on the team to actually take advantage of it, which, if you are, then great. Second part. Increases all allies' guard and super guard by 100%. So you are guaranteed to super guard all normal attacks on the front line, which on one hand is really good because it means that, high damaging, always buffed up enemies who always crit you, like Conquest Ifrit, or bosses like that, or Leon, right? Tempered Edge, Leon, and Velzard, who give themselves just a shit ton of buffs. You're going to always guaranteed super guard their normal attacks. Now, it's very important to note that guard does not impact ult damage. All right, you can have super guard up forever, but if they ult you, that ult is bypassing super guard. It's not there, and you will take maximum damage from that ult. So that's the only thing that kind of worries me about this Maribel, is that she doesn't protect against ults. She just protects against normal orbs. So if you're in a stage where the enemy doesn't really do a lot of damage to you with normal orbs, but then ults you for hundreds of thousands, you're still going to die. You're still going to die. So, stacking weakness strike, guaranteed super guard. She's giving blue orbs 300% skill point increase, which is good. We don't raise skill cap though, so we're capped at 100. So determination to prosper 60% against space. Magic allies get 25%, which this is wrong. It should be actually no, this is right. The JP one was wrong. But at the beginning of each turn from turn 2, decrease the skill cost by 10 for all allies, including the rear guard. So this is going to be very reminiscent of Idle Rimuru and what he does, because he passively lowers your skill point by 10 for Vanguard allies only. So Rimuru passively lowered it, so if you use a skill, it always goes up by 20 points. If you leave them up front, he would drop it by 10, and then the next turn, after 2 turns, you would go back down to your base cost skill. But we had to swap characters in and out, and not everyone would get reset. Maribel's resetting everybody by 10, regardless of where they are. So it's not quite as good as like Vengeance Velzard just auto-resetting when you use her, but passively, you can make it work. So, Lumi is limited and limited. Maribel, I mean, this is cool, this is cool, this is fine, this is cool, but no protection against ults. So if they're going to ult you for damage, you need other defensive skills. We have free-to-play Battle Rieger, his first unit in the game. And he is wrong. So his second skill is a double alt swap into blues, and then a 10% gauge increase. Awesome. The global side has this as only his force orbs get changed to blue. That is not correct, because in the JP stream, they showed off his skills, and it's just 2 oranges to 2 blues. So the global version is wrong, because they do show off gameplay for Beatdown Battle, and he does just convert 2 oranges to blues. So actually, this makes him very universal. So just a generic converter and a double alt swapper. It's essentially Tempest Elite Gobta slightly better though, because they're changing different colors of orbs, but Rieger is double swapping alts instead of a single swap. And then he's a single target fire magic unit, which we don't get a lot of single target free to play units, quite honestly. So I'm actually pretty happy with this. Rieger, I think, is a very, very good top tier free to play unit for any blue team because he's unrestricted. Because this one's wrong. And also Maribel, Rieger, and free to play Letus, Holy Night Girl. These are all new 3 characters, which means Bond XP. Free crystals right there for giving them food. 3 units in 1 meta. Plus tier, because we know tier is coming as well. Right? So that's technically 4 if you pull tier. So that's pretty good. That's a decent amount of free crystals right there. Decent, quote unquote. Her being the free-to-play protector, she gets guaranteed guard and then a 25% chance to hit super guard. Again, good for normal attacks, no good for alts, and then 50% skill point increase on blues, not nearly as good as the 300% from Maribel. And then she gives Wielder of Magic and Determination Prosper attack, and then the 30% attack buff to space enemies. So, overall, I think Rieger is the best character, being free, unrestricted. Maribel, she's not technically restricted at all, right? She is actually very generic. Weakness Strike is generic. Guard and Super Guard is generic. Blue Orb skill points is generic. The skill cost reduction is generic. Maribel, I think, is objectively very good. It's just that she has a problem that I am curious to see if it's going to get solved or not, and that's defense against alts. Lumi is like quadruple restricted. Determination to Prosper, Commander, Fire and Earth. I don't know, guys. I don't know about this meta. But these are the characters getting added to Determination to Prosper. Skill Fuse Gazel, free to play Space Frey, free to play EX Yom, 3-star Rieger, 3-star Kurobe, Earth Trainee, World of Fantasy free to play Gabiru, 3-star Geld, Earth Lumi Space Rimuru, Harmonizer Rimuru, Dark 1.0 Rimuru, and then the 4-star Rimuru. Like this is the team. This is the Determination to Prosper team in its entirety, plus Maribel, Rieger, and Lumi. This team is shit. This team is actually shit. Thankfully, Lumi can also buff Commander with that revive skill, which Commander is a much better team. OG Light Shuna is getting a skill fusion. Her stun dodge becomes a 3-turn stun dodge and a 3-turn crit resistance down on a single enemy. So cool. I don't foresee myself skill fusing Shuna. Stun dodge is not really relevant these days. And then we are getting a free construction slot tonight. The daily quiz is coming, every Friday as normal. Tyr and Clayman are coming. We do have their full kits now. So Clayman's unknown skill is a 55-point all allies synergy rate 100%, and then he increases his own synergy power by 60. So actually, this Clayman is a very, very good single target dark DPS character who can also convert, right? He's got guaranteed synergy, 6% synergy power. He's stacking Weakness Strike on his orb change to greens as long as the front line is dark. He's single target. He's an EX character. We don't have a lot of single target dark EX characters to begin with, so I think Clayman's actually very good. Synergy is a very powerful buff. Tyr, on the other hand, I didn't make a video on her. I posted her skill preview last night late. I didn't feel like making a video just on her. So her first skill that we did know about from the preview is water attack 60% and then her own super weakness strike by 30%. Now, I'm going to have to pull Tyr to test what super weakness strike is, because it's either a higher damage modifier than normal weakness strike, very possible, or it means that, the boss may be with fire, but they're actually weak to physical or to magic, and Tyr is physical. It means she'll just bypass that and always be super weak point. Probably leaning more towards just the higher multiplier weakness strike. Uh, Again, this will have to be tested, but I'll have to pull her first, and I can't whale myself to pulling Tyr because she's only on tickets. Her second skill is guaranteed physical allies pierce, and then her own pierce power by 60%, which pierce power and synergy power are not created equal. Pierce is an infinitely worse buff than synergy power, just by default. So, eh. She is also a single target a single target attack EX unit. Water has a bit few more options than dark single targets are concerned. I'm not really super huge on her kit though. I'm sure she'll hit pretty hard because she's got water attack, weak, super weak point, pierce and pierce power. So she'll hit like a truck probably. But again, you got to pull Clayman into your first to get there. Going into the JP stream, here's Rieger with his normal convert, and you can even see it right here. It's just 2 oranges, 2 blues. Like it doesn't have the little like icon behind it that shows that it's limited to a certain force. So there's the slight change there. Everything else so far is the same, but we are also getting a daily quest stage that'll give us tickets for the Season 3 Part 2 banner and medals. And then we are going to get our next free copy of a Rimuru. Every month we're getting a free Rimuru. This month, or this upcoming month, will be Dark First Anniversary Rimuru, who, I mean, is a okay gimmicky unit. His skill fusion made him a little bit more useful, but not super duper overly useful. He's okay. Like he'll give you guaranteed crits. He'll give Dark Allies crit power. Cool, and he's free. So I mean, can't really argue against free stuff, right? Here's the free construction slot, Clayman and Tyr. We've got the kits for everyone, and then we've got Beatdown Battle. So right here we can see that they have synergy resistance and pierce resistance and physical resistance. So this is a crit focused meta. However, they brought Guy because he's Earth, but he's also only buffing physical allies crit rate, and we're on a magic meta. So okay, sure. They do have space attack. They don't actually hit that hard, and they don't actually have a lot of HP either. So let's go ahead and watch the animations before we do anything. Let me find them.
死罪じゃ。せめてわらわの手でそなたたちへ死を手向けようぞ。デスブレッシング。次は誰じゃ。もっと見せて、その欲望を。あなたも欲張りなのね。気に入ったわ。バランサーグリーン。世界はロッツォのために。行くぞ。我が父と兄の名にかけて。ゴブルフストライク。この町俺が守る。
Okay, so animations are, they're pretty meh. This is a pretty meh meta in general, and nothing else really came out of this. We still have all the units being added. We have the JP only one multi. We have some packs, right? This is the JP premium currency banner. Global never gets it, and then we have a bunch of Jubilee stuff. So, what's this Romorous doing? Oh, we got new figures. Okay. Oh. I know a few people that'll want that figure. Sure. All right. So otherwise, that's it. So this meta is pretty unexciting. I'm not super huge on it already. Like, if you pull Maribel off the free tickets that you get from grinding the event, then congratulations. I would just take her and get the fuck out of here. I really don't recommend summoning right now, especially without having tested them at all. But even from their kits, I'm not overly impressed, and I think that this is a pretty safe skip multi. But I will let you know, they come out later tonight in just like 13 hours, just over 13 hours from now as of recording. It'll drop at 7 p.m. my time. It's currently 5:52 in the morning. So, yeah, we'll wait and see, but otherwise that's it for me, guys. You get a free month, I guess. Take it easy, and I'll see you all later.